My name is Emmanuel J. Estrada, and I am the mayor of Baldwin Park. I was elected in November of 2020, and I am honored to serve our community. I am pleased to welcome you to this year's State of the City address. This year, we are doing things a little differently due to the COVID-19 pandemic. I am glad to be here today to share with you our accomplishments over the past year and some of the challenges we faced as well. As your mayor, it is my intent to work with my colleagues on the City Council to guide our city to a level of innovation that will lead to progress. It is my vision for Baldwin Park to be an equitable city, a place where parks and recreation services are free to all residents, where there are affordable home ownership opportunities, where we address homelessness, and where we are a city at the forefront of prosperity. So sit back and we will share a little about the hub of the San Gabriel Valley, the city of Baldwin Park. As part of this presentation, I am going to talk about the progress we have made this past year, including investments in our infrastructure, community development projects, and quality of life improvements. We are also going to touch on the current challenges we face, such as the current COVID-19 pandemic that has completely changed our lives. Getting through this pandemic will require a proactive approach and an active and engaged community to partner together as we recover from COVID-19. I will touch on the opportunities that we are going to see in the upcoming year that will make Baldwin Park grow and become a better place to live. Baldwin Park is fortunate to have new, experienced, and engaged elected officials that are committed to serve our community. Our Mayor Pro Tem Alejandra Avila, our council members Daniel Damian, Monica Garcia, and Paul C. Hernandez, and of course we cannot forget City Clerk Marlon Garcia and our City Treasurer Maria A. Contreras. I would also like to welcome Baldwin Park's new Chief Executive Officer, Enrique Zaldivar. Mr. Zaldivar arrived in June of 2021 after serving as General Manager of one of the largest departments in the City of Los Angeles, the Los Angeles Sanitation and Environment Agency. This agency has over 3,500 employees and an annual budget of $1.2 billion. Mr. Zaldivar started his career with the City of Los Angeles in 1985 as an associate engineer and worked for the city for over 30 years. We are excited to have Mr. Zaldivar on board to help navigate our city as we recover from the pandemic. The pandemic has forever changed our lives, and the city is committed to making its best resources available to our residents. Shortly after the pandemic was declared and a stay-at-home order was issued, the city immediately looked to its community healthcare partners to establish COVID-19 testing sites, debuting with CORE, a nonprofit organization that is locally operated and founded by actor Sean Penn. In partnership with the Baldwin Park Unified School District and our local Kaiser Permanente Hospital, drive-through and walk-up sites at Sierra Vista High School and Morgan Park were opened. People who needed a COVID-19 test did not have to travel far. The city coordinated a strategic mixed media local public health campaign utilizing diverse and bilingual messaging on social media, the Baldwin Park Now, websites, and our marquees, among other printed materials, to educate the community about the importance of COVID-19 safeguards, which include wearing a mask, practicing social distancing, and taking precautions to limit the spread of infection. When personal protective equipment was scarce, the city partnered with American Job Center of California to establish a facial assembly site at the Esther Snyder Community Center and at the Baldwin Park Teen Center, which created 156 jobs for youth and adults. The face shield program assembled 50,000 face shields, which were distributed to 20 different hospitals countywide. As vaccines became available, the city was committed to increasing access to the life-saving COVID-19 vaccines for our residents over the age of 12 at no cost. Despite low vaccination rates among communities of color, particularly in Latino communities, the city of Baldwin Park evolved as a regional leader through various partnerships to dismantle any barriers in hopes of reaching full community immunity. We are grateful that these combined efforts allowed residents to receive a vaccine locally without having to travel to a county-run megapod. Thank you to Congresswoman Grace Napolitano, Assemblymember Blanca E. Rubio, and Los Angeles County Supervisor Hilda L. Solis for their leadership and sponsorship of multiple vaccine clinics in Baldwin Park. A special thank you goes out to Kaiser Permanente for mobilizing and working with our city leadership to serve our residents with testing and vaccination. We provided free dial-a-ride service to senior citizens to travel to and from vaccination sites. I am happy to report that as of July 9, 2021, 96% of people 65 years and older living in our city have already been vaccinated. 69% of people 16 and older have received at least one vaccine. This has allowed us to reach an above-county average in both categories. I strongly urge our residents who are eligible to vaccinate but have so far opted not to please go ahead and get vaccinated. Beyond testing and vaccinations, we wanted to make sure that businesses survived and that families weren't displaced. That is why the city provided rental assistance to Baldwin Park families. We partnered with AJCC to coordinate several virtual job fair events targeting Baldwin Park residents and employers. The city provided small business grants of $5,000 to 35 Baldwin Park businesses. Now, let us talk about quality of life accomplishments. This includes our recreation and community service programs, parks, and public safety. Last year, our recreation department provided critical assistance to the most vulnerable members of our community. Led by Manuel Carrillo Jr., Director of Recreation and Community Services, the department immediately transitioned from offering in-person activities and programs to going virtual. Targeting food insecurity among the most vulnerable populations, we mobilized our recreation frontline response efforts. The Senior Meal Program delivered over 120,000 meals. This is equivalent to 160,000 pounds of fruits and vegetables and over 51,000 pounds of protein that were safely hand-delivered at the doorstep of our senior residents for over 14 months. The city partnered with local nonprofits, grocery stores, community groups, and faith-based organizations. We provided 100 families with a grocery cart full of food. Food Forward and local volunteer groups coordinated a bi-weekly food distribution program serving an additional 6,355 meals since April 2020. Los Angeles County Supervisor Hilda L. Solis distributed over 6,300 boxes to our residents through a drive-through food giveaway program. It was our goal that no child, adult, or senior would go hungry during a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic. A special thank you goes out to Baldwin Park Pizza Company, who donated over 5,000 meals at the height of the pandemic. The city's popular recreation events were reimagined during the pandemic. Halloween and Easter became drive-through events where protective equipment and treat bags were distributed. Home decorating contests were coordinated for 4th of July, Halloween, and Christmas. The Baldwin Park Teen Center kept teens busy with various virtual activities, as well as socially distanced community cleanup events. The department also conducted daily disinfections of patrol vehicles and city facilities. Once local parks were allowed to reopen, city staff were trained to implement Los Angeles County Health Department protocols for sanitizing equipment and display of appropriate signage. Our parks played a significant role to keep us physically and mentally well. Parks allow us to enjoy a picnic with our immediate family members or simply sit still and watch nature in action. They are a space where you can connect with the outdoors while staying socially distant. Morgan Park and Barnes Park hosted several outdoor social events for our seniors. Baldwin Park has a long history of pursuing and winning grants to improve our citywide infrastructure. In early 2020, the city received notification that it had been awarded a $2.5 million competitive grant from the California State Parks for the Big Dalton Wasp Trail. It will connect Hilda L. Solis Park with Walnut Creek Nature Park, thanks to Proposition 68. The project has since then been awarded 3 different grants, and construction will begin later this year. The 5-mile Big Dalton Wasp Trail will be the first of its kind in our city. The trail will be non-motorized and feature public art, landscaping, and both LED and solar lighting. The city submitted a grant application to the California Natural Resources Agency for an additional pocket park on Francisquito Avenue, which we have since been awarded. Last month, the city was notified that Baldwin Park is being considered for another Proposition 68 grant. A final decision will be made by the state later this fall. Another important quality of life issue is public safety. Earlier this year, the city welcomed a new chief of police to the Baldwin Park Police Department with the appointment of Robert A. Lopez, a retired commander with the Los Angeles Police Department. Chief Lopez has 42 years of experience in law enforcement and brings a background on public safety through patrol, gang enforcement, and gang crime investigations. Chief Lopez earned LAPD's meritorious unit citation twice for his extraordinary efforts to break up a purse snatch ring and for outstanding investigative efforts with the Rampart Homicide Unit. If you have not met him yet, I encourage you to say hello and give him a warm Baldwin Park welcome. The Baldwin Park Police Department has made several important upgrades. To create a more sustainable community, the city purchased 5 new hybrid patrol vehicles that will become part of our police fleet. In addition, we saw the launch of a new police department website. The department is also in the process of acquiring body-worn cameras and in-car video systems. These new resources will modernize our police department. The department stayed busy engaging in community relation activities by participating in birthday parades, distributing Starbucks gift cards for National Coffee with the Cop Day, and continued with their annual holiday programs, including a toy and Christmas tree giveaway program. Thank you to the fine women and men of the Baldwin Park Police Department for their strong commitment to our community. The stay-at-home order forced many businesses to downsize or shut down temporarily. These changes impacted the labor market through reduced work hours and employee layoffs. To support our local businesses, our city developed a webpage on the city's website to link local businesses to COVID-19 relief resources from federal, state, and local agencies. In addition, the city enacted the business license fee waiver and extension program to allow local Baldwin Park businesses to apply for a fee waiver or extension. While City Hall was closed to the public, we transitioned to receiving documents and applications for building permits or plan checks via a Dropbox. These additional services allowed businesses and residents to continue to access city services in a safe and socially distant manner. Since City Hall and council chambers remained closed during the pandemic, the city transitioned to holding public meetings via Zoom to continue official city business. Our city clerk's office remained busy preparing and distributing city council, finance authority, and housing agendas all through 2020 and part of 2021. The city clerk's office also recruited for city commission vacancies to ensure any vacant seats were filled despite the ongoing pandemic. Additionally, the city clerk's office worked with the Los Angeles County Registrar Recorder's office to conduct the 2020 general municipal election. Planning for the future is key to making our city a great place to live and work. Led by Rose Tam, Director of Finance, the citywide and 5-year capital improvements project budgets were completed. These documents are the blueprints for future improvements and provide us a vision moving forward over the next 5 years. Our finance department also received the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting from the Government Financial Officers Association. Baldwin Park has consecutively received this award for following the highest standards in government financial reporting. We endured the Great Recession of 2008 and navigated through a devastating pandemic. Over the last 10 years, the city's general fund reserve has steadily increased from $5.9 to $9.7 million. Increasing our reserves not only demonstrates fiscal responsibility, but the reserves also help the city mitigate risks and provide a backup for revenue shortfalls during an economic downturn. Sam Gutierrez, Director of Public Works, leads the department to preserve, maintain, and enhance existing infrastructure while safeguarding the city's natural resources and provides environmental stewardship for the benefit of our residents, businesses, and visitors to the city. Managed by the Engineering Division, our active transportation program, First Mile, Last Mile initiatives, and Complete Streets policy have paved the way for more grant funding and development of major projects, particularly within the city's downtown area. Currently under construction, the Downtown Beautification Project consists of pedestrian and bicycle safety improvements within the area connecting to Baldwin Park Transit Center. This includes the installation of 30 new decorative streetlight poles with pedestrian-level LED lighting fixtures, decorative traffic signal infrastructure with LED safety lighting along Ramona Boulevard at Cesar E. Chavez Drive, Main Avenue, and Bogart Avenue. The project also includes the installation of highly visible decorative crosswalks, new ADA-compliant access ramp upgrades, installation of street site furniture, and the project is expected to be completed this fall. The installation of a prominent public art piece will debut along Ramona Boulevard. The community fabric is a public art marquee that will span Ramona Boulevard close to Main Avenue, designed through a community feedback process that engaged residents, public artists, and local students. The structure will be comprised of over 300 papel picado style metal plates, representing stories from Baldwin Park residents. In June, after 7 years in development, the city received approval to construct our first quiet zone improvement project at Pacific Avenue. The $8 million project, when completed, will not only bring safety improvements to the rail crossings, but will also establish a quiet zone throughout the city, which refrains the train from honking its horn. Our Public Works Department takes pride in the level of grant funding that has been secured for construction of new infrastructure. Through the regional efforts around Measure W, the city received $14.7 million over the span of 4 years for the construction of a stormwater capture and infiltration system at Barnes Park. While investing in infrastructure projects and programs with multi-level environmental benefits, this project is estimated to treat and capture a 400-acre area through a storm drain system. In addition, the stormwater project also includes a new dog park, basketball courts, soccer fields, green space, picnic areas, and walking paths. Another $710,000 in funding was secured for traffic signal improvements at the intersection of Vineland and Merced and at the Francisquito Avenue Freeway off-ramp. On the maintenance side, the Public Works Department strives to keep the city and community in excellent condition. This means keeping trees trimmed, sidewalks fixed, traffic signals functioning, and our roads smooth. Various crews work on replacing, cleaning, or repairing the city by removing bulky items, abating graffiti, maintaining bus shelters, installing traffic signal lights, fleet management, and many other duties. Tree maintenance remains a priority in the community since we estimate to have approximately 8,300 trees. Having so many beautiful trees in our community has been recognized through our Tree City USA designation. Baldwin Park has earned this recognition for 10 years in a row. Ben Martinez, Director of Community Development, received an SB2 housing planning grant for $310,000 and a local early action planning grant in the amount of $300,000. These grants provide vital funding for important initiatives that stimulate local housing development in Baldwin Park for all income groups. These initiatives include the Downtown Specific Plan and the Housing Element Update, which are part of the city's general plan. Bringing new business to Baldwin Park is vital for the growth of our city. By attracting new businesses, our residents will spend their hard-earned money locally, which in turn helps our city. The past year, a new Raising Cane's opened on Francisquito Avenue, and we welcomed a new Starbucks on Ramona Boulevard. This summer, several new businesses will start construction at various locations around the city. A new Habit Burger will open at the former Taco Ready site, and we will also have a new restaurant coming to our city at the former Shakey's location. On Baldwin Park Boulevard, construction on a new Starbucks drive-thru will start later this year. On the commercial side, we will have 2 new commercial manufacturing facilities undergoing construction in 2021 with additional facilities in the works. Since Baldwin Park is near 2 major freeways and is situated between 2 major commercial centers, downtown Los Angeles and the Inland Empire, our city is a prime location for new businesses. We are also excited to welcome a new 7-Eleven convenience store and fueling station adjacent to LA Fitness, as well as a new Kentucky Fried Chicken located near the downtown. Local restaurants, which are the backbone of our community, were provided resources on outdoor dining to ensure they were informed of the latest guidelines established by the county. Over the last 10 years, Baldwin Park has increased our housing stock. We have identified parcels throughout the city and have worked with developers to build new dwellings. This past year has not been any different, and I am pleased to share with you that we have 23 new dwelling units on Torch Street and 5 new condominium townhomes on La Rica that are currently under construction. Housing costs have skyrocketed over the last few years, and finding affordable housing is challenging. That is why the city partnered with San Gabriel Valley Habitat for Humanity to purchase a long vacant site on Torch Street. It is our goal to develop this site as an affordable home ownership project. The city is actively pursuing several other properties for affordable housing opportunities. One of our biggest issues facing our city is homelessness. We are actively addressing this through our participation in the Los Angeles County Homeless Initiative and the San Gabriel Valley Regional Housing Trust, in partnership with the San Gabriel Valley Council of Governments. In June, the city held a rigorous public input process on developing a tiny home village, and the proposed location was 14173 Garvey Avenue. This led to the approval of a 12-month innovative pilot program to bring bridge housing to those most in need. This makes us the first San Gabriel Valley city to lead the efforts in providing a state-of-the-art emergency non-congregate shelter for our homeless neighbors. The pilot project will provide bridge housing opportunities, case management, food, hygiene, and most importantly, security, dignity, and respect for the people experiencing homelessness while they wait to be connected to a variety of long-term housing options. Homelessness is not only a Baldwin Park issue. This is a regional concern that must be addressed collectively amongst all local cities by partnering with our county and state officials. Since 2018, Baldwin Park has worked with the Los Angeles County Homelessness Initiative and Home for Good funders to develop a plan using Measure H funding totaling in over $1.7 million to develop a local strategy to address homelessness. As a result of this plan, Baldwin Park has partnered with the cities of South El Monte and El Monte to increase resources for local homeless individuals. In May 2021, the city launched a 13-week program which provides free showers and meals to the homeless in the cohort. The site also serves as a hybrid access center for a multitude of case management, housing navigation, employment, health, and life-saving resources. As the number of homeless individuals has increased over the years in our city, it is important that we take action to help people experiencing hardships to meet their most basic needs. Prevention, diversion, and rapid rehousing, as well as a variety of pilot programs, are in place citywide to ensure that we help combat and reduce homelessness. I hope that today's State of the City address leaves you with a sense of pride and optimism for our wonderful city. We have made many achievements at a time when we were forced to reimagine our service delivery. I wish to take a moment to thank all of our hardworking city employees who continued to provide essential city services over the last year. Many of our employees transitioned to working remotely, while others remained on site to ensure critical services were available. Without these dedicated team members, I would not be here today to share the progress we have made in an extraordinary year. As we begin to recover from the pandemic, I invite you to shop at our retail establishments and dine at our local eateries. And if you have not received your COVID-19 vaccine, I urge you to visit one of our local vaccination sites. We need everyone to do their part to stop this virus. Thank you for joining us today for the State of the City address, and I hope to see all of you in person in 2022.